Here's the number one thing that's screwing up the ecosystem in the West. Okay. It is fat women.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, you're 100%.
Fat women upset the balance of the force. Okay. They are like when Yoda disturbs senses a disturbance in the force, it's a woman eating too much. Okay. Because fat women artificially inflate the value of other women who are not fat. Their value goes up just because they're not fat, period. Okay. So now you have a group of hyper competitive men competing for an even smaller group of women, and women have the upper hand. And this is also a reason why body counts get higher.
Yeah.
In the United States. And then a woman who has a high body count, dude, I'm telling you, it just causes more problems. It is psychologically documented. It is scientifically documented. Anybody who says that otherwise is just lying to you for the sake of, I don't know, being evil. Like, first of all, since the dawn of civilization, the virgin bride was cherished, worshipped. Virgin Mary, all of this stuff was literally worshipped in all cultures across the world. And these cultures weren't even communicating with each other through all time periods.
See, so the issue with body count with specifically women is, in my opinion, I view women, I think women, they come into this world with what I call like default settings. So they come in with a certain nature, a certain like predisposition, right? They are gentle creatures for, you know, they want to have children, they want to take care of something. They have these default settings.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the default settings is be really, really, really careful who you have sex with, because when that happens, you might have a baby.
Yeah.
That's like the default setting. So girls who are virgins, they're really emotional about it. They'll have a bit of panic in their eyes if it's about to happen, because they know that what's about to happen could result in a baby. Like their body is telling them this is a big deal, right? Now, when a girl has intimacy for the first time, she will usually get really emotionally attached. Really, really, because her body is telling her a baby might have been getting created. So be careful. Now, once a girl sleeps with another person, that little voice goes away. That little voice gets quieter and quieter and quieter.
Mm-hmm.
And so what ends up happening is a woman who's a virgin is like a white canvas. The first imprint is the strongest because it's the only one there.
Right.
And then the second handprint covers a little bit more of the white. Eventually, there's so much paint on the canvas that to make a splash, to even show at all, it has to get bigger and harder, and more paint is required.
Higher levels of intensity, higher levels of emotion.
Yeah, and then there's like a break. Honestly, there's a part where like the girls' default settings that say be careful who you sleep with because a baby can be made, they get numbed out, and then the girls will switch into like I don't give a mode. And that's when you'll meet these girls that like I don't like relationships, and they start doing all this sexual stuff, and maybe they change their hair color and get tattoos, and like you'll see a sense of like they just give up.
Mm-hmm.
Like their body is like it, right? And if you're interested in having a serious relationship with a girl, you can technically do that with a girl that slept with lots of people, but the probability is really low. Like it's kind of like hiring someone that has a criminal record. Like you can do it, but
it's not ideal.
You know that someone who's like robbed a bank like 4 times probably isn't going to stop.
Got a little label in them.
Yeah. So girls who have been, intimate with like 0, maybe up to 3 or 4, depending on age. I think, like my opinion, that when it starts to go beyond the 5, 6, that's when we're starting to get close. And there is a number. I don't know what it is. It depends on the age. It depends on the trauma.
Yeah, this is an interesting theory you have.
Yeah, there is a break where it's kind of like it's kind of like a good analogy is like it's like someone who's like trying to lose weight. The motivation is that they have hope that they can do it, but there's going to be a point where like they might become hopeless and they'll just completely just give up. Like, let's say you had an injury. You're like, it's hopeless.
Mm.
And so in the girl's brain, it's like, be careful who you sleep with. A baby might be made. Be careful who you sleep with. Be careful. And then eventually it's like, it gets quieter and quieter. And then the girl's like, oh, like all these guys are treating me bad. They always throw me away. Like, okay, I'll just do whatever I want. And that's when you have this like empowerment, girls who will try to turn their sexual sexual life into like a brag. Like that one girl, like, haha, like I have a high body count. I'm cool.
I'm so happy. You fucking incels. I hate you. Like,
yeah.
okay.
And it's like a fat person trying to be like, well, I get to eat anything I want. I'm big and beautiful. And like, that they don't, they're like trying to justify, like they've given up hope. And they're like, well, at least I get to enjoy cake. Like H3, he's like, exercise is a waste of time because the time you spend in the gym, you could just be like chilling and I'm enjoying life. I get to have pizza anytime. And you're like,
what's funny? He's the same age as us.
wow.
Look how we look and look how H3 looks.
Yeah.